Hey y'all, hey. Hi, I'm Elle and welcome back to my channel. Hi, I'm Elle, or welcome to my channel. If this is your first time, don't forget to subscribe. I promise the goodness I deliver dope content consistent in fashion, beauty, makeup, commentary, and clearly today, some DIYs. Basically, it's L, all things L and things that interest me and my family that I think would be dope to share with y'all. All right, y'all. So today I'm going to be showing you all how I made the 3D light up letter using Dollar Tree products. Total, it probably cost $12 to make this, just because I did the letter K. Clearly, it can fluctuate and go up and down depending on how many lights you need in order to light up your letter, and the batteries. I got the idea for this particular letter project from a fellow YouTuber here. I'm going to make sure that I link her down in the description because we did the flower wall, and of course I'm redoing the letter. So yeah, I would definitely tag her down below in the description so y'all can watch the original video if you would like. So my letter took, because I make a letter K for the little, her name is Kelsey. My letter took 3 foam boards total, and probably 2 bunches of flowers, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lights. And those 8 lights, you needed 24 AAA batteries to light it up. All right, you want to get started by building the base letter. So let's just say you wrote the letter K. Literally, that's all you're building, is like the 3D block shape of whatever letter that you're doing. And because mine is the letter K, that's what I started building out first. Also note that it's very important to determine how wide you want your letter, because you want to pick a measurement that is wide enough for your letter to stand up by itself. The same thing with the depth of yours. So my K measures 8. Especially this part that you see right here on the screen, measures 8 inches wide, and it's actually 6 inches deep. And that's just so I can make sure that it can stand by itself. Okay, like I told y'all before, you have to measure and know how deep you want it to be. So that's what I'm doing right here. But you also want the measurements to line up with the very first piece, because this piece that I'm measuring out right here is the part that's actually going to be on the floor that is holding the letter up. So you want to make sure that those pieces measure correctly so that it can stand together, if that makes sense. And because I'm having a hard time explaining it, just like I've said before, continue watching. I cannot stress this enough. Please double and triple check behind yourself as you are going, and try to come up with a system that organizes you, because you do not want to mix up these pieces, and you do not want pieces to come out too big or too small. It is very frustrating to have to go back and redo all over again. Okay, every letter in the alphabet is different. So for the letter K, I wanted to find where I wanted the actual pieces, the legs, to meet to the baseline. So I measured that out first, and then I went back and I figured out, well, exactly how wide do I want these parts to fit. It's very hard to explain, but and you might just have to measure out and do a trial and error to make your letter look the way you want it to look. But clearly some letters are easier. For example, my name is Leandra. A L is much easier than doing a K for Kelsey, and a K is probably much easier than doing a B. because you have the rounded edges of a B. But hey, each letter has its shortcomings and its hard points. So just figure out what works for the letter that you need to use it for. The only thing that I want to stress is that make sure that your width for the base and for the top of your letter is always the same no matter what point you are on your letter. If it doesn't, your letter is going to look a little wonky and not be symmetrical. All right, now you want to use whatever piece is big enough for the next part of your letter, and you want to mark the base, your starting point, where that letter needs to connect. If you are a sewer, which I am, it's very similar to creating notches so that you know where two pieces need to meet up. And once you know where your pieces are going to meet up, you're basically going to repeat the same process that you did for the first part or whatever part you were doing before for the rest of your letter. All right, it looks like we have a bottom of a letter K, and that's success. So what I'm doing next is, for whatever reason, I thought that this would work for me, but it ended up being a pain in the butt. But I marked all of the free edges that I could think of. Well, see, clearly after laying everything out. So I knew that those would be like the 3D markers where I had to build the walls to my letter K. In all actuality, what ended up working for me was literally drawing out my letter K and then numbering all of the walls that I had to build. And then I went and marked them off as I went. That's what worked for me. Okay, and here's your reminder to make sure that the depth of your letter is the same for every wall to this letter that you build. If you don't, it will not look symmetrical. Carefully measure each piece and build out each individual wall. The measurements are going to be different for the size letter that you're building, so I can't give you mine necessarily, but just make sure that they all match up and they are all the same depth.
She calls me day and night. I'm sorry, girl, you just don't make me feel right. I never meant to make you cry, you were right. Just leave me be, I'm not gonna put up a fight. And every time you wake up feeling worse and then you check the time. It's never what it feels like, just throw me a dime.
I laid all my pieces out on the floor so I can see them, and now it's time to start building. Now you can stop at just the letter K. Go ahead and add your lights if you want to, but I wanted to add a little extra to Kelsey's K. because her birthday is tea party themed and I wanted to look very festive in her favorite color, which is purple. So I picked complementary color flowers. The flowers, if you're going to add these, I wanted them to hang over the front. So I made sure that when I got them from the store, I got some that dangled over and not just the flower buds themselves. And just so the flowers that I put on top can lay a little bit more flush to the foam board, I poked small holes, not all the way through, but just to give room for that little bit of stem that was left over from me pulling them off of the branches. And this was the finished product of adding those flowers. Now we can add lights to our cake. I use the LED lights from Dollar Tree. We're going to open it up. Each light holds 3 AAA batteries. Once you open the lights, they are very easy to open the back of to add the batteries. You just twist off the back and add your batteries. Each light has an adhesive tape, but for more stability, I added glue, hot glue. And the little is back from the store with her dad, so she's going to take over. Tell everybody what we're doing.
Everybody doing decorating a cake.
You're going to put the lights in different places. This one go right there. Okay?
Okay. And you're going to glue up.
Yep, we're going to put the glue on.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be down here.
And I will pass you the light when it's ready, okay?
Okay.
He never answers me. When I call, it makes me feel so lonely. Didn't think you'd give up so easily. Yesterday and left.
Ta-da!
What does K stand for?
I miss the old days.
Kelsey! Thank you guys for watching a video.
Here's a little bit of bonus footage. I didn't do a full DIY video on it, but this is our flower wall. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to check out some of our other content, and also like, share, and subscribe. Bye.